Have you ever heard the sound of water flowing in the canal at night in District 4 of Ho Chi Minh City, where winding canals meander like veins through the city? There is a small, ramshackle house where the three members of Nguyen Thi Tang Nan's family struggle to get by. This house is not a place to live, but a place to survive. A cramped room, barely 10 square meters, its corrugated metal roof full of holes, letting rain leak down onto cracked cement floors, forming tiny puddles glistening in the streetlights that slip through the door crack. The mold-stained walls peel in large flakes, as if the house itself was weeping, telling stories of all the pain it has witnessed. A rusted iron bed creaks with every toss and turn, like the moan of a trapped soul. A small altar, where Nan's mother's photo is placed. Her eyes in the picture seem to always watch the family members, unblinking, as if trying to say something. And a few old plastic chairs scattered in the corner, one with a broken leg, wobbling like their lives. That's all this family owns. Every night, the musty smell from the canal wafts in, mixing with the incense smoke from the altar, making the air heavy like lead. The sound of water flowing beside the canal is sometimes as gentle as a lullaby, sometimes roaring when the rain comes, as if telling stories no one dares to hear. Nan, a 22-year-old girl, skinny, eyes bright, but always shadowed by worry, grew up in persistent poverty. She often sat by the door, staring at the pitch-black canal where the moonlight shattered on the water's surface, thinking about the days when her mother was still alive. Her mother, Miss Lan, was once a gentle but weary woman, always singing her sorrowful folk lullabies, her voice blending into the sound of flowing water. Her mother died when Nan was just 10, during a great storm, when the canal's waters rose and flooded the house. People said she slipped and was swept away by the current, but Nan didn't believe it. She remembered that night clearly. Her mother stood by the door, hair soaking wet, Aozai clinging to her body, whispering something into the darkness, as if she knew her fate. Since then, Nan often dreamed of her mother. In her dreams, her mother stood by the canal, her Aozai tattered, wet hair stuck to her face, her eyes profoundly sad, whispering, "Nan, don't go. This house." Her voice was not comforting, but like a warning, like a curse. Nan would wake up with her head pounding, her shirt drenched in cold sweat. She looked over at her father, Mr. Ming, sleeping on an old plastic chair, his worn, frayed t-shirt soaked in sweat from long days pushing the pho cart under the sun. His back hunched. His veiny hands worked from early morning till midnight, only hoping to earn enough money for medicine for Nan's eldest sister, Hong, who had suffered from lung disease since childhood. Every time Hong coughed, her dry hacking echoed through the house like a blade slicing into Nan's heart. Nan didn't want to stay. To her, that house was a cage, trapping her in poverty and despair. Every sound of water was a reminder of poverty. Every crack in the wall was a wound in her heart. She wanted to fix the roof so her father wouldn't have to use a worn-out tarp to block the rain, wanted to buy better medicine for Hong, and wanted all three of them to live with some dignity. But how? A 22-year-old girl, uneducated, penniless, with only her hands and a heart full of longing. One day, the broker appeared, like a ray of light in the darkness. She wore a red silk Aozai, her hair tied in a high bun, a sweet smile on her lips, but eyes as cold as a snake watching its prey. She placed in front of Nan a photo of Kim Hyun-jun, a 39-year-old Korean man living in Jeju. "He's rich," the broker said firmly. "He'll give you a new life, a sunlit house by the sea, money, a future, all you've ever dreamed of. Nan held the photo, her heart pounding. In the photo, Hyunjun had a chiseled face, thin lips, and deep, lifeless eyes. She told herself it was just the lighting, but inside, an unease rose, as if someone was whispering in her ear, "Don't believe." She thought of her father, of the nights he coughed from the cold, of Hung, who had to lean against the wall whenever she had trouble breathing, her lips turning purple. "If I don't go, who will save this family?" she asked herself. But when she put the photo down, a cold wind blew through, making the altar candle flicker as if it was about to go out. Mr. Ming sat on the old plastic chair, his hands trembling, his voice hoarse. "Nan, I sense a bad omen. Don't go, child. I'd rather be poor, rather die than lose you." Hong, though frail, held her sister's hand, her voice quivering. "You've only seen him in a photo. How do you know who he is? How do you know he's not a demon?" Nan smiled, but it was a forced smile, trying to hide the fear in her heart. "I'll learn Korean. I'll try," she said, trying to sound resolute. "I promise I'll come back, bring money to fix the house, and buy medicine for my sister." But that night, she dreamed again. Her mother stood in the corner of the house, said nothing, just pointed to the mirror on the wall. Nan looked into the mirror, saw herself, but the eyes weren't hers. Those eyes were deep, like the night sea, as if they had witnessed something horrifying. She startled awake, screamed, but all she could hear was the sound of the canal water, as if laughing at her. Nan had chosen her path, but she didn't know that the rickety house was the only place truly safe. Darkness awaited her in Jeju, lurking in the dreams, in the mirror, in the water's whispers by the canal, and in the cold stare of Kim Hyun-jun in the photograph. Nan's wedding took place in a hurry inside a small restaurant in District 4. 3 Vietnamese-Korean couples, all strangers, sat facing each other under the gaze of the broker. There were no flowers, no celebrations, only cold silver rings and fake congratulations. Hyun-jun, Nan's groom, was tall, dressed in black, looked polite, but his eyes were cold as stone, without a hint of emotion. When Nan put the ring on his finger, her hand trembled. The cold metal touching her skin felt like a warning. She heard a faint laugh, as if coming from somewhere in the room. She looked around, heart pounding, but no one was laughing. The guests, the broker, even Hyun-jun, all sat silently, as if that laugh only existed in her mind. The broker, with her fake smile, handed Nan a thick envelope of money, whispering, "When you get there, behave. His family is not normal." Nan asked back, her voice trembling, "Not normal how? What do they do?" But the broker only smiled, a smile hiding a horrifying secret. She turned away, leaving Nan with a growing sense of unease, as if she had just signed a contract with the devil. That night, in a shabby hotel in District 1 before flying to Korea, Nan couldn't sleep. She sat on the old bed, its springs creaking, looking out the window where the streetlights flickered. She dreamed again, but this time it wasn't her mother who appeared. A different woman appeared, wearing a torn wedding dress, long hair covering her face, standing in a dark room. The woman lifted her head, revealing deep eyes like 2 black holes swallowing the light. She whispered in Korean, her voice icy, "You won't escape. Like me." Nan woke up with a start, heart pounding, sweat soaking her body. She ran to the door, wanting to go home, to her father, to her sister Hong. But the hotel door felt like it weighed 1,000 pounds, and outside, the roar of airplanes pulled her toward fate.